Alright, everyone, welcome back to the Craftverse series, episode 45. Today, we are at a woodland mansion, and I am going to try my best to not die. Got a bunch of torches. Okay, I need to grab some of these blocks real quick. 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay. That's enough to make a chest. Then to make a shulker box. So I want to make sure I have room for all the things I'm going to end up needing. I'm actually going to keep that on me. Boat's not going to be useful here, nor the lava. Water will. Pretty sure I won't need the shovel while I'm in there, or the fishing rod. Definitely not going to need that, but I'll deal with that later. Yeah, I guess that's good. Okay. We are as prepared for this excursion as we're going to be. What I like to do when I'm rating these is check the interiors by removing a line around the ridge so I know if there's anybody inside. A 2 blocks wide line should be perfect. There's a zombie in there. Don't know if that's the only thing in there. Looks like it so far. This will give me enough of a window to see when those guys come. Okay. Well, I think I should, just for safety's sake, actually sleep. Maybe deck this roof out in torches. Just a few. This way I won't have to worry so much about things springing up on me. And another reason for the 2 wide line is so I have an easy way of flying out if I go through it with wings, which I currently have. That should be lit up enough. Okay. Actually going to move this over here so I'm guaranteed to have access to my axe and bow at the same time. Which room is this? A room with a chest. A secret room? It looks to be a secret room. Which has gunpowder, which is handy. Really care much for the rest of those, so we're gonna move on. Maybe there's a second chest. If I can get Vex trim, I can at least put something interesting on my outfit. Not sure what all trims I have. I'm pretty sure I have Spire and Eye. I know I don't have all of them. Oh, aw, just garbage. Don't really care for music discs. I've never been one to use them. In fact, I always turn that setting off when I'm live or recording, just because they like to mute my content, so I don't like to give them any additional reason to do so. You are just a Johnny. You are just a Johnny. Anybody else want to poke their head out? Pretty sure that's a creeper. Whatever it was, it's dead now. There's a zombie around the side of the stairwell. Is there anybody on the upper level? Sometimes they like to come out and say hi. Nope, wasted torch. Be alright though, I've got plenty of coal with me. Can make a couple of stacks more if I need to. Yeah, catch up game. Be wonderful. Alright, anybody in the cat room? Another Johnny. I do have a raid farm, so I'm not overly concerned with the whole money aspect. I just actually have to go over there and use it once in a while. So I'll get plenty of money to get all the enchants that I need on my gear. You know, now that I mention it, what enchants do I have that I need? Don't really have a way of getting thorns. I need unbreaking for sure on windbreaker, but I can go ahead and use the raid farm to get emeralds for that. And then pretty much just thorns 3 on everything. Wait, does that have, that does not have depth strider, so I need to get depth strider. Should be on breaking 3 on all of these. That doesn't have efficiency. Okay. So I need a couple of books, nothing too major. Maybe I'll luck out and get some efficiency out of an E-table enchant. Who knows? Oh, room with books. Sometimes there's a guy in here. Don't see anything on the little ledge. Sometimes there's also a chest somewhere. Guess not in this room. Making the rounds. Got one more room to look into over here. Okay, I hear you, but I don't see you. Might be on the floor below. And I mean the exterior of the roof, because there is, this is the very top level, and I think there's 2 roof levels and 4 internal levels. There's one considered a basement, the main floor, the second floor, and then the roof level, which is this. So, okay. Pretty sure that's just hallway. There's plenty of space for me to get out if I need to. Haha, you suck. Oh, so do I. Guess I took one for the team for that comment. I hear you. Where are you at, Mr. Summoner guy? One shot. Nice. Anybody else readily visible? Nope. Okay. Nobody hiding underneath the stairs. I can make that jump. I don't think the mobs can. Definitely on a floor below me somewhere. Do I have Silk Touch? I have Fortune, so that's not going to go over well. But I can get plenty of books. Books I can use to trade with. I have to loot this intelligently. Wish I had silk, because then I would have a lot more inventory space to work with. But alas, I do not. So, is there anything underneath these beds? That looks like the library, which is where I'd be hearing the guy from. And it leads directly into this room. Oh, he saw me. Why am I not firing at him? Okay. Did I deal with the problem, or do I now have Vexes to deal with? Not a good time to experience lag. Really not a good time for that. And there's my Vex trim. You could take that. You can have the dirt. Sure, I can make that trick shot. Ow. No fair. No blowing up. What is going on with these arrows? Oh, you ass. Did he blow up the totem? What the hell? Did they add Java parity to this crap? This is the most recent Minecraft update, for the record. And it's not allowing me to shoot when I'm... Oh, sure, now you do, just to prove me wrong. Okay, well, there's one wasted totem. That's some bullshit right there. It's more than mildly infuriating. And the point of this room is what? That's where the allays are. I really don't care about them. Take some string. Don't really have a reason to keep those. I'm genuinely upset about that totem, to be honest. Ow. Let's not die. Wonderful. Alright, now I have to preserve that Vex trim, so I'm going to chuck that in the E-chest. So everything else out of here is just a bonus, honestly. Chuck all of that. You know what? I don't really care about that, but that makes for a good guardrail. I'll actually just go ahead and toss those in here so I don't lose them. Whenever I get a full inventory, I'll just come back up. Okay, so I went in through this floor, found this room. See, why is it doing that? It's not allowing me to shoot. What the fuck? Why? You don't get to choose when we shoot. I choose. I'm the one with the bow. Stop it. Okay. Rage quitting aside. Let's... My axe is not going to like this particular excursion. Okay. That leads directly to the stairwell, and thus directly to an escape. That's how you should be acting. When I tell you. Freaking wasted a totem because I was within sight of the creeper and couldn't shoot, apparently. Not for lack of trying. You heard it. Made contact with something, and then it just decided, no, I don't want to do bow things anymore. Feel like the only explanation that makes sense at this point is it had something to do with the fence that was directly beside me. It's the only thing that makes any kind of sense. See, there's a barrier there. It won't shoot. More than mildly infuriating. See anybody walking around over there? Except the creeper, who needs to just die. Stop! It's probably not the best day for me to be doing these recordings, to be totally honest with you. Another one? Huh? No. Didn't think so. See any of the guys that summon things. Again, I have a raid farm. I don't have to stress so much about this. But good luck telling anyone's brain they don't have to stress about something. They're just going to do it anyway. because that is what the brain do. This way I won't fall off at least. Okay. This works. Think I want to raid all of these bookshelves, block off the entrance so things can't come up here. Okay, I have plenty of inventory space. Let's see how many of these I can take. So, I was introduced to a new show recently. If you've ever seen Heroes or Star Trek, you'll know the main actor in this particular show. He's a neurologist. Wanted to say surgeon, but he's not really a surgeon. He is a neurologist, though. And he has a condition very similar to something I've been dealing with for my entire life. So anybody who's curious about the Zeko lore, here's your chance to pay attention. I have always had an issue with remembering faces. And not just faces of people I just met, people I live with on a daily basis. If I'm looking right at you, obviously I know exactly who you are. I remember you, talking to you, your voice, your face, all of it makes sense, right? Seems legit, totally normal human mental behavior. But when I don't have you in front of me, chances are I'm not going to be able to describe you to a sketch artist. And that also goes for my family. Anybody I have a strong emotional connection to is also not immune to this issue. First person I ever latched on to, first girl I ever liked, couldn't remember her face. But the moment I saw a picture of her online, when we were like 18, like, yep, that is the person I remember. So my brain does have a record somewhere in there of the face, but it won't allow me to access it mentally, consciously. And it doesn't just go for faces either. It can go for places or other games and such that I've had in my life that I've had strong emotional attachments to. I don't necessarily remember the layout, but I'll remember the steps on how to do it. I'll remember the emotions I felt doing those steps. Potentially where I was in reality when I was doing those steps, what was going on, but not the people that were in the room or how it was portrayed on screen. I'll remember what happened. Like, here's a perfect example. I remember when I was a kid, we were going up to see my grandfather for his wedding, right? My grandmother had passed a couple years before. Apparently, we were very close when I was a very young kid. Now, granted, you're not supposed to remember everything from a very, very young age. But if you literally live with someone and they're up in your face, you should at least remember the face. Okay? That's number one. I do not remember my grandmother at all. We lived with her for several years. I have absolutely no memory of it. Now, granted, you could say, but Zeko, you were a child. Children don't have good memories. And to that, I would say you're part right. But think about your own family, the people you live with right now. Now, not everyone's going to live with their family right now. Depends on which part of family. I don't recall literally any of the faces from my childhood. I lived with my father until he died last year. I do not recall his face until I look at a picture and then I know, yep, that's the face of the man I hated. Yep, that is him, 100%. The people I still live with right now. I remember their voices. I can hear them in the other room, but I could not describe to you their faces. At some point, I am going to end up being the one in charge of my not mentally all there brother. And it honestly scares me because I do not have the capacity to describe things like faces. I could tell you perhaps what he's wearing if I saw his shirt or shorts or something, but the important things? No. And that's always been an issue. That's part of what contributed to me having depression growing up, is because I could not remember the face of the girl that I liked so much after she moved away, after I moved away. I didn't know we were both in the process of moving at the time. But life has a way of being cruel sometimes. She didn't know how I felt, and I didn't remember what her face looked like or any other important details I could have potentially used to locate her if I was to try and find her. It wasn't a pleasant time in my life. It took a lot of talking down from certain ledges, before I realized, oh, it's genuinely not something I have any control over. So there's no real reason to let that be the thing that gets me. I try not to have like real life shit on my channel very much, but it's kind of raw at the moment. Just really living through it at this particular point in time. I don't know if that is definitively the condition that I have. As described in the show, it's called face blindness. Don't know if that's the official, like, neurological term. But the weird thing is he can be looking at somebody and not know who they are right away until they actually describe themselves to him. That's not the case for me. If I'm looking right at you, I'll know who you are. If I'm not looking right at you, I just can't describe you, basically. It's one of the many reasons I don't include a webcam or anything for my channel, because if I have issues remembering faces, there's no reason to include faces in the deal. But honestly, for the most part, it's just people being shallow. People will find any reason to like or not like someone based on their looks, so I just don't include that stuff. It's about the content, not really about me. There's really no reason to leave this open here. Alright, I need to get some torches going. And I suppose we will continue this adventure in the next episode. Oh, gee, excuse me, that snuck up on me. So thank you for enduring this talk, and hope to see you in the next episode. If I haven't lost you with how crazy I am. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're going to watch for the next episode. Lets me know you guys really want to continue seeing the series. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow.